spend a day with us to do school. It is our beginning of our school week, and we got a routine down, so follow us along if you want to check it out. All right, so she is doing her math with the good and the beautiful. We've already gone through her morning work. So every morning, these are things in the top drawer that she knows that she has to come and do. So she has her Zahner Bloser handwriting, which we really love. I've done a few reviews on these in the past, but she does really, really well with her handwriting. So I'm always excited to come in here and look at her progress. All right, so then she comes into her Evan Moore spelling. This is like set up in a day 1, day 2, day 3 style. And then she comes into her fixing grammar. This is really easy for her, as she just proofs that, writes it, and then moves on to the next day.
I'm sorry to interrupt your video, but did you know that the crayons, the Crayola swirls, are erasable with a regular pencil eraser?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Because I really made a mistake.
So this is really cool because it tells you everything you need to do. So it has these things she has to mark in the sentence and these things she has to fix. And so after she edits it, then she just rewrites it on the line, and then that's the day's lesson. At the beginning of the week is the actual lesson of what they're learning. So like this week they're learning in dealing with pronouns, and it has, you know, all this information that she needs to read over and go over so she understands the lesson. Lastly, on her dailies is this exploring science. So we weren't going to do this, and then I decided we need to fit in and squeeze in as much science as we can because we really haven't touched on it over the years. So on day 1, she reads the lesson and then goes over the day 1 in the book, and then tomorrow she would do day 2, day 3, so forth. So this has been a good addition to our homeschool day. And yeah, so now we go on to our core subjects, which is math. I used to print out our Homeschool Planet schedule, but I've been utilizing the app instead. So she gets a printout of the Homeschool Planet schedule on Tuesdays because that is my work day. So she has what she does down here by herself, and it's pretty much makes life a little bit easier to just print it out sometimes. She also gets a direct email link to the schedule. I believe every day it emails her, or maybe it's once a week, I'm not sure. That if she was on her laptop, she has access to see it there as well. So we have our core subjects. We have math, we have language arts, we have reading, and what else do we have in here? Oh, history and science. Well, history and science aren't, I guess, core subjects, but we do history on Mondays. And we are going to start doing science every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, because I have noticed in our Beast Academy science book, it's just way too much to try to jam a whole chapter into like one day or even 2 days. I feel like it's just too much. I believe like each chapter is like 20 pages. So it's just a lot and it's overwhelming, and I don't want to cause dread in our homeschool ever. So to try to find a schedule that works with us was pretty important and key. So In case you're wondering, it is 9:30 in the morning. We came down here around 9 o'clock. Usually it's between 8 and 9 that we get our school day started. I feel that if we start our school day in the afternoon, or say we have to go somewhere in the morning, or we have a play date or something in the morning, it is so hard for us to then come back and do school. So I find it best to get school out of the way in the morning so that we have the rest of the day to kind of do and choose whatever we want to do. So once we get done with math, I will show you what's next on our calendar. Calendar. So I have noticed right off the bat that when you're homeschooling and you're trying to figure out your schedule, your routine, your flow, not to overplan things at first, because you can have a heavy day on your schedule and you quickly realize that like it's not gonna work. And so then you have to backtrack and you have to figure out, okay, what can I adjust in my schedule to make it flow better, to make the day not carry on so long, not have like built-in breaks and stuff like that. Like you have to schedule those in, and like don't just pile on everything when you first start school either, because if you've taken a break or it's been a while since you've schooled, the likely chance of you going through straight head on right away full load is like not gonna happen likely. Like your kid is gonna need some form of like an ease in kind of thing. Otherwise you might have tears, or you might have just not a good experience. So take it from me, these are lessons learned that I have had to experience in the last 6 years. So yeah, schedule to us is super important. It's not really about time, and it's not really about, okay, start this at this time. It's more of just a schedule to know, okay, this is what we have to do today. And then the freedom to get it done kind of in our own time. So say if we have something going on, we get done our core stuff first, and then she'll come back later and do her independent things later in the day. So that has worked out for us. It has been chef's kiss. So just saying.
With the world he used to know as so well. And then I pictured him in the mines, trembling as he crawls deeper down. Every muscle in my body wants to run, but if I run, I'll never make enough feathers left to save him. I can save him.
So we are moved on to reading. This is Herthan's story. What book are you reading? Over the Moon. Do you like it?
It's okay.
And then she just has to complete whatever's on the schedule for today. It's usually just a simple type of question for her to fill out.
And some are quite the other way. I have to go to bed by day. I have to go to bed and see the birds still hopping on the tree, or hear the grown-up people's feet still going past me in the street. And it does not seem hard to you when all the sky is clear and blue, and I should like so much to play to have to go to bed by day.
That's fun. So every week she does one poem from the same Herthan story. And so when she finishes her chapter and her page, then we move on to the poem on Mondays. And then on Mondays we move on to that. So what does it want you to do?
Just says read it aloud. Have you ever felt the same way? This might have happened to you if you have an early bedtime, or if you live close to the western edge of your time zone. Review your rhyme scheme flashcard don't have that. Be Just Speaker flashcard don't have that either.
Yeah, I have to look for that. I'm not sure where that was printed out at.
Yeah,
So.
the speaker in this poem is longing for the freedom of summer while complaining about their bedtime routine. The speaker thinks it is a grave injustice to have to go to bed while the sun is still shining. Even the birds have a later bedtime. Stevenson emphasizes how young the speaker is with his word choices. He doesn't use a lot of long, fancy words. Instead, Stevenson's speaker uses shorter words and a snappy rhyme scheme. These choices help us believe the speaker is a child. One of the first questions to ask yourself when you read a new poem is, who's the speaker? Answering this question will help you understand the poem's meaning.
Nice. All right, we have moved on to our history book. On your map, point to the southern Mesopotamia. Yeah, the Persian Gulf and the Mediterranean Sea. The book should be open.
Yeah, I was putting the bookmark in there because I was pulling the trash out. So, what did you want me to point?
The southern Mesopotamia.
Oh, 7. Done.
The Persian Gulf.
Persian Gulf. I'm looking. There's the Persian Gulf.
I'm assuming it's water.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the Mediterranean Sea. Southern Mesopotamia, whatever, was closer to large bodies of water, such as the Persian Gulf. So the people there produced much more abundant crops. On your map, point to northern Mesopotamia. Meanwhile, the people of northern Mesopotamia had access to materials such as wood. All right, so basically we're wrapping up our day. She's finishing up her language arts. But everything that she basically needed me for has been completed. So that's kind of our day. It usually takes us roughly 2 hours to 2.5 hours, depending on the day, to complete all of our stuff. Which is pretty normal and on point for a 5th grader. So I have found that by doing like history and science on the days that I'm present and able to do that with her, it just works out best. Because I don't feel that everything in our homeschool should be independent. I have certain things that I trust her to be independent with. And there's just things that I feel more comfortable making sure that I'm alongside her teaching the method. So that just works best for our family. So that is our day. We start out with our morning work, our grammar, our spelling, our writing, our handwriting, and that's it, right? Spelling, handwriting, grammar. And our daily science, which kind of correlates with the science that we're doing together, so it kind of works out. She's getting the full circle. And then she moves on to the core subjects like math, reading, language arts, and language arts was a choice that she really wanted to do this year, so she is doing the language arts PDF from The Good and the Beautiful, which is totally fine. I like that she enjoys doing that. So she does that. And then on the days, like I said, when I'm here, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we do the extra subjects like our actual science curriculum and our history curriculum. We use The Good and the Beautiful history, as you saw, I was reading earlier. And that seems to be something we're done with in like 20-ish minutes, 20, 30 minutes, depending on the like extra things that are involved in the activities and stuff. So that works out for us. And then, yeah, then we're done. On the days that I'm not here, we add in art. I know she gets art and geography from her language, so she's getting a ton of art. And then we are going to be joining a co-op in the fall, which is going to do science and a project. I haven't decided if we're doing another day or not, but for sure she'll be getting even more science and projects at co-op. Yeah, so we're pretty rounded this year, and it's working, it's flowing, we're getting things done. For the most part, no tears, no arguments, and we move along. So if you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.